Next, we'll turn it over to Aditya to tell us a little bit about Edstruments.
Elena. Hi, everybody. My name's Aditya, and Edstruments is a tool designed to empower streamlined financial operations for schools to better serve students. So this is not being used by kids directly, as you might guess. The students aren't making financial decisions about their school, but leaders like principals, operations leaders, like Elena used to be, actually, and then others like finance teams in the organization. So why this problem? Well, actually, the number one reason that charter schools shut down, Elena, if you could advance the slide here a moment, 42% of shutdowns of charter schools, at least as was measured in 2011, were because of financial reasons. So not enough revenue to cover their expenses, weren't able to attract enough students, and so on. The next biggest reason, 24% of schools that shut down were because of mismanagement issues that included things like fraud, lack of transparency, things that led to authorizers pulling that authorization. And so a lack of transparency, financial mismanagement, things like that, collectively resulted in about 2/3 of all charter school shutdowns, at least as of a decade ago. By the way, if you're curious, only 19% of shutdowns were because of academic reasons. So this is a real challenge for schools to get right in this space. And if you click once more here, and then I've got two other numbers here. In 2018-19 school year, charter schools in this country were funded at a level about $3,000 per student less than district schools in this country. And so schools are having to stretch the same amount of funds, a lower amount of funds to cover the same needs that students have. And this is about an 80 cents per dollar that district schools get, or what charter schools are getting. So there's this real challenge around how do schools deploy the finances they have well, not only to serve their students, but to keep operating and have the opportunity to keep innovating for students. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I started my career, like others on the call here, as a high school teacher. I was at a charter school in the Growth Fund portfolio at YesPrep Public Schools in Houston. I'm sure there's any YesPrep folks on the line here, but taught there for a few years, went to graduate school at Stanford, did a joint MBA and Master's in Ed, and really there at the intersection of business and finance learnings and education leadership learnings, I'm really curious about this question of how schools spend their money in this country. We have been around for a little over 3.5 years now. We're working with schools across the country, including a number of Charter School Growth Fund portfolio members. These are just some of them, but over the time that we've been around, we've either provided our software or services to 17 different current or former Charter School Growth Fund portfolio members. So we're really grateful for the opportunity to now formally partner with the Growth Fund. We are thrilled to have had the opportunity to work with partners in states like Texas, Massachusetts, Louisiana, California, where I'm based, and we look forward to growing that in the years ahead with the Growth Fund by our side. And then I believe the next page here has a quick little video showing you a little bit of what our tool looks like. We designed Edstruments to be an easy way for people, regardless of the amount of financial experience and background they have, to engage with financial data. So instead of, tiresome spreadsheets or things that require really someone who has a deep level of finance expertise, we tried to create something that visually could show you how much money have you spent so far this year? What do you have left? What are you able to spend that money on? What's the sort of set of transactions that have taken place here? And then they can also build their budget for the year ahead collaboratively across different scenarios. They can see in real time what other leaders have decided. And they can collaborate back and forth on that. And then we have extensive capabilities around modeling headcount spend and personnel as well. So salaries, benefits, stipends, all of that really drives a major part of the budget. All in all, our goal is to make sure that students are centered in this work, that the way that decisions are made around finances are serving students at schools and making lives easier for the administrative leaders who are making the decisions for them each and every day. So that's Edstruments and a little bit about myself. If you'd like to learn more, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Really helpful to learn more about your work and hopefully pique the interest of some people on the call. So feel free to connect afterwards if you want to hear more directly from any of our school leaders or founders.